Lavarita Talk Show.
Yeah, this is Adekunle Komolafe. I would love to talk about humility today. The fastest way to take God out of the equation you deploy to solve life problem is to infuse humility or to deploy pride in your act. It was painted in somewhere in the scripture, the book of James 4 verse 6, where it stated clearly that God resists the pride. The fastest way to be great is to adopt the principle of humility. I've often said this: you have no reason to show anybody or to prove to anybody how big you are. If your bigness is that big, it should be obvious enough for people to define it. You don't need to say, "Do you know who I am?" If who you are is big enough or noticeable, then you don't need to define it. I also discovered, you might not agree with me, that David, with all that he had done, the atrocity he committed in the scripture, what gave him escape route for condemnation, complete condemnation before the Lord, was his ability to bring himself down, because it was painted in the scripture that he goes before the Lord 7 times in praising and 3 times to pray daily, meaning that he had soaked himself in the spirit of humility. And there are people by nature who has this mentality of wanting more, ignoring what they have. And this is the truth. If you are not grateful enough for the little you have, how then are we sure you'll be grateful for the one that you'll be given more? I think it was David Oyedepo that says, if you want your tank to be filled, then you have to be thankful. So every time that you notice that what you have with you is not enough for what you want, deploy the principle of thanksgiving. I think it was demonstrated in the book of Matthew by Jesus Christ when he was in a ceremony, in an occasion, and it was brought before him some few bread and fish. And what he did, he accepted it and lifted up and thanked God, and it was multiplied. How it was done, I am not interested. I don't want to know. What I was told, thanksgiving multiplies what is before him.
Lavarita Talk Show.
So every time you notice what you have is not enough, deploy the principle of thanksgiving. And if you can thank God for the little he has given you, it will provoke him for more. So by my philosophy, I have always said that thanksgiving is a gateway or is a seed for more. So if you desire to grow from where you are to your next level in the kingdom principle, you must learn to be able to thank God at all times. Because the little thing you have that you don't place value on is a prayer point of the next person close to you, that the person kept praying about daily, to say, God, if I can just have this, I will thank you. And that's the same thing that you don't place value on. A lot of people don't know how wealthy they are until they begin to search and bring out all that they have in their house. Some have shoes, some have clothes that they do not use anymore. If they put this thing to monetary, they will be shocked how much they can get from those things. So those things that you do not have use for, find somebody that you can give to who has been praying daily, and the same principle will be applied to you for the things you desire from God that somebody else have that has been kept somewhere. The person, God will touch their heart to meet you in one way or the other. In summary, this is it. If there is nothing you want to thank God for, Be grateful for the gift of life. I tell you this, there are people who would have paid billions in pounds, in dollars, if life can be purchased. If life is on subscription, majority will have left because you won't be able to pay for it. If life were to be transferred, a lot of people will not leave because they will pay for other people's life to be transferred to them. So place value to the little things you have and be grateful. Lastly, stop, and I'll say it again, stop. I'll repeat myself again. Stop wasting your time. If there is anything that is freely given to us by God, freely without paying for it, that we naturally don't place value on, is time. The same 24 hours you have is the same 24 hours the richest people on earth have. They only invested theirs. A lot of people spend theirs. Don't be part of those people who spend their time. You know what? Begin to invest yours. Have a great day.
Lavarita TV is a special TV. Lavarita TV is the best of all. Educating you, entertaining you, presenting to you reality shows, accurate news. We speak the truth.